No. I tell you what you gonna do. You better make sure that June will go. I'm gonna call you back later. All right. Okay. Bye. Just a little humor for you guys that are my age in your 40s. Isn't technology amazing in the way that we can go from this little flip phone, and there's still people nowadays that use these flip phones, from this to this to this. Amazing. Anyway, guys, let's start the video. Bloop. What is going on, everybody? I am CeeLo's, and welcome to my channel, Pay Yourself Back, where it's all about mental awareness and spiritual wellness. It is not a sunny and bright day here in South Florida today, unfortunately, guys. There's an overcast out there. It's a little windy and it's a little cool, which is right up my alley. You know, people are very interested in Florida. I get a lot of comments, a lot of questions about my experience here in South Florida. Maybe people are nearing the retirement age and they're looking to spend the rest of their retirement here. They've come here a couple of times just to visit. They absolutely fell in love with it. So I get a lot of questions and a lot of comments. I did a video, this one in particular I did, Goodbye Washington State, Hello South Florida, where I kind of showed you guys the transition from me moving from Washington to South Florida. And so today I'm going to talk to you guys about what it cost me to move from Washington State to South Florida. But before we get into that, guys, let me just say one thing. For people who plan on moving here, there's a lot to take into consideration. Florida has a certain culture and a certain vibe about it, meaning, make no mistake about it, it's the South. So you have a lot of Southern culture here, people from Mississippi, Louisiana, Alabama, Texas, and Georgia in particular just come right down. So you have that Southern culture here. You also have a lot of people here from New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, and they just come right down. So you got a lot of that East Coast and South culture here. Now, if you are coming from the West Coast, Washington State, California, Oregon, Arizona, you're going to see that it's different. Not necessarily in a bad way, but it's just different. Either you like it or you don't like it. So far, so good. So guys, I'm gonna break this video down into about 5 different categories. The first one being why I chose to move myself instead of hiring a moving company. And the answer to that is personal preference. And I'll tell you because I've had experiences with moving companies that were not favorable. I was in the military for a while, and to all of my soldiers and my veterans who have PCS'd, permanent change of station, especially from somewhere like Germany. I used to hear these stories all the time about they have these shrunks. A shrunk is basically the German version of a huge entertainment center. And they're beautiful. They're gorgeous. I mean, real wood. I mean, they come in all different kinds of shapes and designs. A lot of glass. I've heard guys say, man, I've moved from Germany, PCS from Germany to the States. Got my shrunk and other things. It was damaged. It was in pieces, glass all over the place. I also had an experience myself when I left from Fort Drum, New York, and moved to Hawaii. Some of my stuff was damaged. Now, that's not to say that all moving companies are the same, but nobody is going to take care of your personal belongings like you are. So that's the reason why I decided to move myself instead of hiring a moving company. All right, number 2, guys, and please forgive me for using my cheat sheet. It's a lot of information. It's been a couple of years. I can't remember everything, so please don't hold it against me for using my little cheat sheet here. So number 2, my mode of transportation. And so let me just start off by telling you what I had. I had between 2 and 3 bedrooms full of furniture and stuff like that. I had 3 cars. So what I did was I rented a 26-foot moving truck and a car trailer from Budget Rental. I also had my personal truck, which was a 2017 GMC Sierra, and I rented a Uhaul car trailer as well to tow everything. Now, on the moving truck, I got about 12 days of unlimited miles for travel. On the trailer from U-Haul, I had about 10 days. Now, if it takes you more than 10 to 12 days to move anywhere within the continental U.S., you got issues. Plain and simple. Number 3, the calculation of my expenses. So we're going to just break down what I spent between the moving truck, fuel, hotel, and food. So the truck, the 26-foot moving truck, I spent about $1,445. The car trailer for budget, I spent about $317. Taxes and fees came out to $227 for those two. By the way, you have to have coverage for these commercial size trucks, so you throw in another $550. The U-Haul trailer that I rented came out to $536. So you total all of that up with the budget rental truck, the trailer, the other U-Haul trailer, insurance coverage, taxes and fees. You're looking at about $3,076 just for the truck and trailer rentals and taxes and stuff. Now let's go into the fuel. I spent between $1,100 and $1,300 for the moving truck. And for my truckers, you know that the federal emissions regulations calls for this blue DEF stuff to be added to the diesel, and that all it is just an exhaust fluid. It's a federal emissions regulation. I didn't even throw that in there, guys. I didn't even include it. The fuel for my personal truck came out to about $700. The hotel came out to be between $130 and $160. The first stop, we stopped in Los Angeles, the Los Angeles area at the Motel 6. I mean, we stayed there for about 3 hours. The second stop, we stopped in El Paso, same thing, Motel 6 for about 2 to 3 hours. You know, I'm the type of person that I like to, when I'm on the road, I like to keep it moving. Minimal stops, fuel, food, and that's it. The final stop, we stopped at a truck stop at the Louisiana border. We didn't even get a hotel or motel. We just slept in the truck for a couple of hours, 2-3 hours, got up, took a shower. I think we paid like $25 to take a shower, and then we got on the road, pop smoke. For food, at the time, we spent $150 because at the time we were vegan, vegetarians, and there's just not a lot of places while you're on the road that cater to a vegan or vegetarian, so we only spent $150. Okay, guys, as I said earlier, these numbers are not exact to the penny, give or take a few dollars, but what I can tell you that they're pretty dadgum close. I don't have all of my receipts, so I gathered the information that I did have. So you round everything up and total everything up with the budget rental truck, the 2 car trailers, the fuel, hotel, food, and all that good stuff. I mean, realistically speaking, I'm going to say I'm going to round that up to about $5,500 max. I didn't spend any more than that. So all in all, $5,500 to be on the safe side. I know I didn't spend more than that. Let me just say also, guys, according to the American Moving and Storage Association, the average cost to do a interstate move, which means somewhere within the continental U.S., meaning from state to state, at about 1,200 miles, you're looking at about $4,300, not including any cars or anything, just to move. And that's an average of about a 3-bedroom household. Remember that number, $4,300, according to the American Moving and Storage Association, a distance of 1,200 miles. Obviously, Florida from Washington State is a lot further than 1,200 miles. Keep that in mind. Number 4, the mileage and route. I decided to take a longer route, and it came out to about 4,100 miles from Washington State to South Florida, and I'm going to tell you why. The shorter route would have put me about 3,300 miles, but it would have took me across, I would have to go up to Spokane, come across and come down through Montana, South Dakota, Kansas. I left in November, which I knew already in Montana and South Dakota, it probably would have been snowing. I'm towing 2 cars, so I took that into consideration. Sure, I added an extra 800 miles, but I was looking at the safety aspect of the entire trip, and that's what you have to look at, guys. So what I did was I took I-5 from Washington State all the way down to Los Angeles, hit I-10, took I-10 all the way across to I-75, and hit I-75 all the way south to the Turnpike down into Hollywood, Florida. Bada bing, bada boom. I left early morning Wednesday from Washington State, got to Hollywood, Florida early morning Sunday. There you have it. Number 5, your savings. Last but not least. So before, I had in mind a number that I needed. Everything that I just told you guys, what I spent, I had already calculated that up before I even made the trip. So I had a general idea of how much it would cost me. So give or take a few dollars. Here's one thing I will tell you. If you're planning on moving from state to state, it's a major move. If you're thinking about moving from one coast to another coast, west coast to the east coast, it is a big move, and it's something not to be taken lightly. I have people who ask me if they should just sell everything and come here cold turkey, and I tell them no, I wouldn't recommend it, because when you get here, you're going to need some furniture. You can't sell everything, and the thing of it is, you may not get a job as quick as you think. It's a little, I talk about this in my other videos. There's a fair amount of difficulty in getting a job quickly here in South Florida. And once you get a job, you may not be making the same kind of money. So don't liquidate and sell all your furniture and your belongings. Just bring them. I mean, what I did, it's not for everybody. The thing about me, I had family here, so I had a place to stay. Even though we did give money to, to stay, it's not like we were paying a hotel fee. So I was good. I mean, a lot of people don't have that situation. So the best thing that I could tell you guys is to plan it down to the dollar, because the worst thing that you could do is leave where you're at in hopes of making a better life for yourself and get here and find out that it's totally different. So you got to plan, do your research. You're going to plan a trip. Make sure that you calculate everything. If you have debt, the debt is going to follow you. That's just how it is. I mean, your debt is not going to stop when you get to Florida. It's going to follow you. So take that into consideration. Your debt, your credit cards, your car payment, your car insurance, all of these things. Some things are going to be new to you when you get to Florida that you haven't experienced before. Like your insurance is going to go up, because it's going to go up. You got hurricanes. I mean, inclement weather, bad drivers, your insurance is going to increase. So there's some things that you're going to have to budget for. I had a lot of things that I didn't expect when I got here, but I had to make the adjustments. So you gotta think about certain things. I try to do these videos to help you guys understand better, give you a better idea about what's going on here in Florida. South Florida, there's a little bit of a difference between South Florida and Northern Florida. I don't try to step on anybody's toes or be disrespectful or be rude, like I say, because I do live here, but I just try to give it to you straight as I can. What I try to tell people before they move to Florida is to have at least about 6 months of salary before you move here. And I know that can be difficult. That's a lot. I mean, you got 12 months in a year, so that means that you got to save half of your salary. I mean, but to be on the safe side, I would come down here with enough savings to where you can live. Because again, I say it's a fair amount of difficulty in finding a job right off the bat, unless you're transferring from another job or you have a really, really good lead on a job. This is very important. I want to tell you guys as well. If you're trying to apply for a job from out of state and you're not getting any success, it's because a lot of times employers here in Florida shy away from hiring people from out of state. If you don't have that Florida's driver's license, they tend to pass you over. Why they do that, I don't know. I got this information from the employment agencies. They all say the same thing. So that's another thing to take into consideration. Now, if you come here and you visit it and you have had an opportunity to go on an interview, then that's different. But if you're just applying cold turkey months from moving here and you're not having any success, that's one of the things that I would tell you to take into consideration as well. Why it's like that, I have no idea. Is it fair? No, it's not fair. But that's just been my experience. Again, it might not be your experience. And but I appreciate you guys tuning in to Pay Yourself Back. Make sure that you hit that like button. Make sure that you subscribe to the channel. If you have any other questions that you would like me to address, then just leave me a comment. Good questions though. If you have an opinion that is your opinion and it's derogatory, just keep it to yourself. So with that being said, guys, I think that's about it. I don't think I forgot anything. And if I did, just let me know in the comment section. And yeah, with that being said, guys, be well, my friend. CeeLo's out, baby. No, see, now I'll tell you what you're gonna do. You better make sure that Junebug has my money. I'll call you back. Go back.